Tracy Morgan, Gary Coleman, George Lopez, Steve Jobs, Dick Cheney, and Sarah Hyland. All of these people are celebrities, yes, but they also share one more common denominator. Each of these people would not be alive today without the power of organ donation. Organ donation has the potential to save thousands and thousands of lives, and there is a vast, vast shortage of organ donors in today's society, which is why I myself became an organ donor at the age of 16 when I registered for my license. It was something my family and I spoke about, and we just agreed that the power to save other people's lives is something that should not be wasted. Today I would like to talk to you guys about the power of organ donation, how organ recipients can directly benefit from an organ donor, and how to become an organ donor. I'll begin by telling you each about the need for organ donors. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, as of April 6th, 122,073 people are on the waiting list to receive an organ donation. This number is vastly, vastly large, and there's a possibility that someone you know or a friend of someone you know is on this list waiting for an organ donor. The reason this list is so very large is that there is a large shortage of people who are registered to become an organ donor. According to organdonor.gov, one person dies every 10 minutes simply waiting for an organ transplant that's not available. To put that in perspective, during the time of this class, that means up to 5 people could die simply because there aren't enough people registered as organ donors at the time when they die. According to Gift of Hope organization, most people waiting for these transplants are waiting for corneas, lungs, hearts, or kidneys. All of these organs are pertinent to their lives, and they're simply waiting in the hospital for these organs and not being able to live their lives just because not enough people are registered as organ donors when they die. This image was retrieved from organdonor.gov, and I believe it is very visual and inspiring how great and the shortages of donors. This gray steep line represents the 105,000 people as of December that were waiting on the transplant list for an organ. The green line at the bottom, representing 14,000 people, is the number of people who were currently registered as donors. We can see how insanely short the people who are registered of donors is. And the beauty of this is that we have the power to change it. This need for organs will always remain, but we can stop the amount of lives that are lost by changing the amount of lives that can be saved. According to Life Center, when you agree to become an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives by donating your major organs, and you can help up to 100 different individuals simply through tissue donation. I don't know if those numbers are as empowering to you as they are to me, but saving improving over 100 different lives is incredible, simply through tissue donation, not even regarding the major organs of our bodies. Common tissue donation would involve things like donating your skin to severe burn victims, or donating a knee joint to someone who can't walk, or, as vulgar as this may sound, donating your eyeballs to someone who can't see. Our eyeballs hold a special potential, and I didn't know this, but when you die and donate your eyeballs, one eyeball can restore sight to over 10 different people. So when we die and you donate your organs, you could be improving sight for over 20 different people. I know this is a little uncomfortable for me to grasp, thinking about my eyeballs being donated, but when you think about the fact that you have the ability to improve so many lives, I don't think that that's something that we should be turning down. While I've presented this information to you guys, we've seen the vast need for organ donors, but what's the solution, you may ask? The solution is as simple as becoming an organ donor. All it takes is a choice and a personal commitment, and making that commitment now. Because lots of people, this problem arises when we are like, oh yeah, I'd love to become an organ donor, but we don't do anything about it. Becoming an organ donor is important to do, and doing it now. It's important to also share it with people around you in your lives so they can also receive the message of organ donation and maybe make the choice for themselves. We hold the power to change this shortage by making the decision today and informing people we also know about it. Sharing this information with your friends is vitally important because it is involved in the first step of organ donation, becoming an organ donor. The 3 steps I would advise to becoming an organ donor, the first step would be talking with your family about it. They're going to be the people who are dealing with the leftover things after your death, planning your funeral, and are making arrangements. And so making your wishes known to them and your friends or family is really important so that way they can be carried out. The second step would be to officially register yourself on your driver's license if you're not registered already. If you live in Tennessee, the website will be donatelifetn.org. If you don't live in Tennessee, which a lot of us don't, then the website will be organdonor.gov. The websites make it very simple, just a few easy steps, entering your basic information if you haven't. Or when you renew your license every couple of years, there's always an option to check a box to become an organ donor. But the third, and I believe the most important step towards becoming an organ donor, would be choosing to fill out a donor card. I'm going to give each of you guys a donor card today, so that way you can keep them with you. And it's really important to keep these in your wallet at all times if you're not registered as a donor already. Should an emergency happen, should something terrible happen to you, having these on your person at all times can let anyone around the situation know what your wishes are and how you'd like them to be carried out. It allows you to have a signature, and if you don't like a certain body part being donated, there's a place to specify for that. But I really encourage each of you to fill these out today if you choose to become an organ donor, and also go online and fill out the steps to become an organ donor. Organ donation can be one of the most important decisions you'll ever make, and potentially could be the most important gift you could ever give someone. I've spoken to you guys about the need for organ donation, how importantly you could change someone's life through donating your organs, and how to actually become an organ donor. But I encourage you each to think of Bryce Ian Autry. He was a 6-year-old boy who unfortunately died in a tragic accident, but through his parents' decision, he donated his organs and saved up to 6 lives across America. I encourage you each to think of the donation and how he benefited each people across the U.S. And I urge each of you to become an organ donor today if you aren't already. We hold the potential to change thousands and thousands of lives. So please, share your life, share your decision, and become an organ donor.